Hey Ryan, how you doing?
I'm great. How are you, Ashley?
I'm doing pretty good. So today we're here to talk about messaging and how that applies to colleges. We know that messaging is often a source of problems for a lot of our clients, but with colleges, we know that it's hurting their ability to get enrollment in more students. And so, can you tell me just tell me a little bit about your experience with the problems that you've seen from other colleges you've been around or worked with? I know your son's in the process of getting enrolled. So yeah, just tell me a little bit about what you've seen.
Yeah, so the problem with most colleges is they have lots of different influences and lots of different voices from different departments wanting their message to be at the
Yeah,
forefront. So it's a responsibility of the people that are building the websites to get that information into the website, but typically everyone wants to be on the front page. So you have all these competing
yeah,
messages and hierarchies of things that different departments, they always feel like their message is most important, when
yeah,
in reality the message that should be conveyed to potential students is that we're a place where you can continue or get your education or continue your education based on where you are in life.
yeah. And where else do you feel like that is showing up? I mean, we know that the website is kind of often the first touch for colleges, but there's lots of other opportunities I know with colleges to communicate to prospects. Where else is that lack of engagement showing up?
Yeah, I think it's kind of across the board. Most universities, colleges, or private institutions, they spend quite a bit of money or quite a bit of their budget, no matter how big their budget is, in trying to get students to understand that, hey, we're the place that you should be spending your time
Yeah,
and money and energy. And so no matter what they're using to draw in students, whether it's social media, whether it's print, television, radio, whatever their tactic is, they need to make sure that their message connects with the reason that a student will go to school. And
yeah,
and most of the times, students have their own perception of, hey, I can't go to school because of this or that. It could be financial, it could be not having housing, or there's a multitude of reasons why they may feel frustration or anxiety about
hmm,
getting into a school. So to me, it's our job as marketers to connect with them and help them see that, hey, there is a path or there is a way for them to be successful.
yeah. So how do you talked a little bit about like how we connect with those students? How do you approach that with colleges? Like the general problem of messaging and making sure that it's on point. How would a college approach doing that for themselves and making sure that their messaging is working?
Yeah, I think they need to take a deep look at what they're doing
Mhm.
to cultivate students into kind of their enrollment funnel.
Yeah,
And so, most of the times it is websites or it's print collateral or whatever that is. They need to make sure that it's resonating with students in a way that students want to be talked to, right?
yeah.
And helping them understand that, hey, we get where you're at in life, we understand the problems that you face, and we're here to help you become successful by going to school. So whatever that looks like, I think a college or a institution needs to look at it and kind of be the guide to helping students get into the application funnel, get in so that they get through the enrollment process. I think there's lots of hurdles for students to get in.
Hmm.
Once they get into an application funnel, it's very complex. There's
Yeah.
lots of pieces that they have to get through. So I think a institution needs to kind of cull it down and make it a simple process for
Yeah.
students, even though it may have 15, 20, 30 steps.
Yeah.
Make it seem like it's simple, and so that they can absorb it in bite-sized chunks, and that the student knows that, hey, we're here to help you through this process too.
Hmm. Hmm. What are like, give me like the top three things that most colleges could fix or do to do that, to connect better or make the journey enrollment less complex.
Yeah, I think that there's a lot of pieces once a student gets into a funnel that
Hmm.
could break down that communication string. So one, making sure once they get into the funnel, understanding why a student may have a problem, or what their main thing they're trying to overcome, like if it's financial, right? Then a college should recognize, hey, we should be getting information to these students about financial aid or grants or the Promise Scholarship or whatever it is to help them overcome that barrier to entry. So that would be one thing. That's probably the biggest thing for me is having a connection with a student and understanding what their individual thing is that they're trying to overcome, or that barrier to entry is.
How does what we do help colleges understand what those students, like what the pain point is?
Well, if they're doing it right, we should be putting things in place like lead funnels. So if a student comes to a website and they're not ready to apply, which is the case with about 97% of the people that come to a website, are not ready to fill out an application right then, right? So getting into a funnel where we get their name, we get maybe their potential problem that they're trying to get through, so that we can continue to communicate and serve them in the best way we can. Also, that creates loyalty with a potential student of, hey, we get it. We understand where you're at right now, and here's some things to help you overcome those things. So I think it's just, from an education standpoint, really understanding, hey, these are the things that the student is experiencing, and then giving them ongoing messaging and information that helps them overcome that barrier.
Yeah, no, that makes total sense. Awesome. Well, I appreciate your time today. Thanks, Brian.
Yeah, thank you.